Dumelang, it's Winky. Welcome to another fire episode of the Mobile Schools of podcast. Remember, don't subscribe, don't share, nobody cares. Today it's going to be a short one. Just wanted to talk about the elections in South Africa and how it's time for people to start moving into electronic voting. I think expecting people to go queue to register at these voting stations, we saw what happened. There were situations where ballot papers were found in people's cars, where ballot papers were hidden in some shady places. And the problem with that, it doesn't matter whose votes were in there. That shouldn't happen. All votes should be counted, especially if parties are going all out, putting posters around, telling people to vote for them for certain reasons. It doesn't make sense for one political party, especially under the watch of the IEC. The IEC has been terrible this year. This is the worst we've seen the IEC for an organization that's always invited in other countries on the continent. This is the worst, and they should never again be invited to go overlook elections anywhere in the world. They've messed this up. You only get one chance when it comes to voting, especially on our continent, because this type of decisions and this recklessness results in people dying. So when it comes to the way forward, it's only right that we work on voting online. And you cannot say, oh, but what if they hack it? If you can pay your gambling debts with Betway, you can pay for stuff online. That means you trust the system of the online system, so you can trust them to not mess up your vote. We've never had a situation where people complain all over the world that, oh no, my vote was not counted and I voted in Australia for elections in Australia because I was in the UK. That's what they do in a lot of countries. And for South Africa to not implement those during COVID, it's really madness. It's madness. So the first thing that we want to highlight is that we need to start voting online. We need to vote online. Going to election stations is a waste. Also, South Africans, we really need to start voting. We need to stop this thing of drinking all the time, thinking like a day to go vote is just another holiday for us to get drunk. We need to stop that mentality. It's super dangerous. It's not going to get us forward. And with that said, congratulations to all the parties that participated. Now it's time for you guys to go remove all those posters of yours so they're making the city dirty and shit. So sort yourselves out. South Africa is receiving, I think, 80 billion from a lot of organizations in COP, like a lot of South Africans, companies and politicians are in Glasgow, and they're talking about renewable energy, and 80 billion has been received for us to move away from coal. The crazy part about that is that many of the organizations that are focused on renewable energy have never done anything to show us that they can do it. And that's how the world should work. You should show that, we've been focused on renewable energy for the past 10 years and we were able to give electricity, whether it's solar, hydro, wind. Show us what you've done and then come back and say, we were able to give this community electricity. You don't just write a nice, glitty proposal and say this is what you're gonna do. With what experience? So we need to stop lying and going to all these international events and just get there and lie. Let's stop lying. Renewable energy is very important, but if we still have to use coal because we have it in abundance, so be it. This thing of following first world countries because they're doing certain things certain ways is going to affect us. And we cannot be affected because when we get affected, it means roads get closed up by people who complain that they don't have electricity. And when roads get closed up, people don't go to work. And if people don't go to work, the economy becomes stagnant. Remember, this is very important. I'm not a podcaster. I'm an independent TED Talk. Awela.